Hello and welcome to High Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Happy Memorial Day 2018. Today we're going to play another game from the our Inside Pitch series of the 1967 Impossible Dream season. 50th anniversary series, which was started with the 50th anniversary. It's now the 51st anniversary, but we're going to call it the 50th anniversary playthrough, as it started out in the 50th year. It's going to be a game from May 23rd of 1967 with the New York Yankees going up against the Baltimore Orioles. Mel Stottlemyre is on the hill for the Yankees against Frank Bertaina for the Orioles, who would later be traded to the Washington Senators shortly after this. This would be the only victory that he would get with the Orioles that season. And it would actually be a really, really good pitcher's duel. That's kind of the reason I picked it. It was a 1 the Orioles, with Bertaina, I think, going the distance. I'm not sure exactly, but I do have the box score pulled. So let's see here. Let's see how long he actually did last in the game. Yeah, he pitched. Oh, actually, he only pitched 5 innings, allowing 3 hits. No runs, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. I'm not sure exactly why they pulled him. Maybe either got in the jam at the time or was tiring or possible an injury. Who knows? But shortly after this, I believe he would get traded to the Washington Senators, as his record was 1-1 with the Orioles, and after this he was 1-1. But anyway, a good pitcher's duel here, so I decided to go with this game. And I hadn't played the Yankees and Orioles in a while in our 1967 replay. Mr. Brody is in the co-host seat there. Miss Mags is on the table here with me, trying to get in my ice on a very hot day. So anyway, Frank Bertaina on the hill for the Orioles. He'll be going up against Mel Stottlemyre. The defense behind Bertaina, and this is going to be at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, which I had been to. And I think it was, I want to say 77 or 78, right around that time. Possibly even 79. It might be 79, actually. I think it could have been 79. I just went to the World Series there. I went to a game there, and my sister and I, taken by my brother-in-law, my brother's future sister-in-law and her husband. I don't know if they were married at the time, but anyway, they took us, my sister and I, to the game. So that was a fun game there. Got a couple of seat cushions signed by Steve Stone and oh man, I can't think. It was one of the other Oriole pitchers, I believe, but I can't think of who it was. The guy with really curly hair. I can't think of his name at the time. Who just recently passed away, I think. But anyway, so it was a fun time. But anyway, this is from 1967. And the Yankees are 12-16 coming into this game. The Orioles 17-13 now. I had played up until, I think, all the games through the 20th. So there are a couple games, the Yankees and the Orioles. I had not played up until this point, but I wanted to get this game in because it looked like a good matchup. So anyway, Frank Bertaina, let's take a look at his so far in the replay. This actually is his first start in my replay, as I wasn't. He isn't currently on the roster for the Orioles, so I had to release him from the Senators, as they inside sports games usually put them on the team that they played the most games with. And when I started the 1961 season with the Red Sox, that's when I started to switch the players that were on the teams and release them and put them on the right teams. I didn't always do that when I started the 67 replay, but I'm going to be doing that from now on. So anyway, Frank Bertaina here, making his first start of the season in the replay. We're 7-6 on the actual season with both the Orioles and the Senators. 2.99 ERA. 116 and 0.4 innings pitched. So what would that be? A third of it. Yeah, 16 116 and a third innings pitched, 107 hits allowed, 87 walks and 87 strikeouts and 50 walks. So anyway, for the Yankees lineup is going to be Horace Clarke, the second baseman, will lead it off, followed by Tom Tresh, the left fielder. Mickey Mantle, winding down his career, is the first baseman, batting third. Elston Howard, the catcher, will bat cleanup. Charlie Smith is at third base, hitting fifth. Joe Pepitone, the center fielder, hits sixth. Steve Whitaker is getting a start in right field for the injured Bill Robinson. He's going to be injured for, I believe, 3 more games. Ruben Amaro, the shortstop, will hit third. Will hit eighth. And Mel Stottlemyre on the hill bats ninth. So for the Baltimore Orioles, Luis Aparicio, the shortstop, will hit first, followed by Rush Snyder, the center fielder. Brooks Robinson is at third. Batting third, the cleanup hitter is Frank Robinson, fielder. Boog Powell is at first. Batting fifth, Kurt Blefary, the left fielder, hits sixth, followed by Davey Johnson, the second baseman. Andy Etchebarren behind the plate will hit eighth, and Frank Bertaina on the hill bats ninth. So, all right. So Bertaina on the hill. He'll have Blefary in left, Snyder in center, Frank Robinson in right. Blefary with the best range in left. Robinson with below average range in right, and Snyder average range in center. Robinson average arm in right, Snyder below average in center, and Blefary above average arm in left. In the infield, the human vacuum cleaner Frank Robinson at third. Excellent range and very low error rating. Aparicio below average range at short, as is Powell at first, and Davey Johnson average range at second. Behind the plate, Etchebarren is below average range with a below average arm. And Bertaina on the hill is very short-handed but with average range. So Bertaina looks in for the sign from Etchebarren, nods his head. Horace Clarke steps into the box. Horace Clarke in the replay batting .295 with 13 runs batted in so far. Here's the windup in the pitch. It's going to be a ground ball to Robinson at third, over to first for out number 1. Tom Tresh up now, the left fielder, hitting .216 in the replay with 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Pitch by Bertaina. And a possible error on a throw. And it's a ground ball to short, and it will be an error on Aparicio. So Tresh will reach on the throwing error by Aparicio. So runner on first with the 1 down. Powell will hold on Tresh, who is is a threat to steal. So that'll bring up the Hall of Famer Mickey Mantle, switch hitting first baseman at this point of his career. He's really struggling on the replay so far, hitting just .139 with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. And Mick steps into the box. Bertaina looks in for the sign of Etchebarren, looks at the runner, kicks and delivers. And another error. And that's going to be a grounder to first. And Powell will commit a throwing error also. So back-to-back errors by the Orioles. And the Yankees will have runners on first and second with 1 down. So that'll bring up Elston Howard, the catcher, hitting just .141 on the season with a homer and 2 runs batted in. Did not have a very good season, only .178 on the actual season. 5-1 would be a ballpark check at Memorial Stadium. Oh, this is a possibility here. He doesn't have much power, so it's probably not going to be a home run check. Nope, he flies out to left to the warning track, but Blefary is able to make the catch. Tresh will tag and move to third. So that'll put runners at the corners with 2 down for Charlie Smith, third baseman. Smith hitting just 190 in the replay with 2 homers, 4 runs batted in. Five, and another possible error here. Error check grounder. Oh, and that's going to be a ground into Powell. So hopefully Powell will not commit a second error. He does not. He's able to handle it this time and takes it to the bag himself to end inning. 2 errors do not prove costly as the Yankees do not score. So it's New York nothing, and the Orioles coming up. Stottlemyre on the hill. Stottlemyre 15 and 15 in 67 with a 2.96 earned run average. In the replay so far, he's 3 and 2 with a 6.3 earned run average, 54 and 2/3 innings pitched. I believe that's what it is. Could be wrong on that one. 39 hits allowed, 9 walks and 28 strikeouts. So the defense behind is going to be Tresh in left, Pepitone in center, Whitaker in right. All the outfielders with below average range, although very short-handed, with Whitaker in right having the best arm, slightly above average. In the infield, it's going to be Smith, Amaro, Clark, and Mantle. Smith at third and Clark at second with above average range. Amaro average at short and Mantle below average at this time of his career. But still very short-handed. Clark, the right side of the infield, definitely more short-handed in the left side. The left side will commit their fair share of errors, especially Smith at third. Howard behind the plate, average range with a below-average pass ball rating and slightly high error rating with a 12, but with a slightly below-average arm. Stottlemyre on the hill, very good range, but will commit a few errors. So the lineup for the Orioles is going to be Luis Aparicio, the shortstop, at first, followed by Rush Schneider, the center fielder. Brooks Robinson, third baseman, bats third. Frank Robinson will bat cleanup and play right. Boog Powell, the first baseman, hits fifth. Clark Blefary, the left fielder, hits sixth. Davey Johnson, seventh, the second baseman, followed by Andy Etchebarren behind the plate, and Frank Bertaina bats ninth. So Aparicio steps in, hitting .240 to play, with 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. Stottlemyre looks in for the sign from Howard. Here's the windup in the... And Aparicio will reach on the walk. And that's how the Orioles will begin here in the bottom of the first. Rush Schneider up now. Schneider hitting just 180 on the replay. 236 for the actual season. 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. Stottlemyre, Mantle will hold on Aparicio at first, and it looks like Schneider is going to bunt. Schneider, an excellent bunter. He'll square around. And it will be a successful sacrifice bunt as Aparicio moves in the scoring position. So 1 down now with a runner at second for Brooks Robinson. Robinson having a great year so far, hitting .325 with 7 homers and 24 runs batted in so far for the Orioles. Chance to put the Orioles on top now. And they call for a sacrifice here. I'm not going to sacrifice. Doesn't make any sense. 5-6, and that is going to be a range play. And there'll be a range play on the center fielder, Pepitone. Pepitone below range. And first of all, it's going to get down. And he will not get to it. And that will score the runs. So an RBI double for Robinson. Orioles on top early. So Frank Robinson up now. Robinson hitting .280 the season with 4 homers, 8 runs batted in. .311 hitter for the season with 30 homers and 94 ribbies. Stottlemyre looks in for the sign. Looks back at Robinson trying to keep him close. Here's the line of the pitch. And that is going to be a line out to second. Clark makes a nice catch, and they flip over to Morrow covering, and they get him. Double play. So that will do it for the Orioles. But they do get a run on the RBI single by Brooks Robinson. RBI double. So after one, it's 1-0 Orioles, which was the actual score of the game. Joe Pepitone will lead it off for the Yankees. Pepitone hitting .299 on the season. A homer and 11 runs batted in. Here's the windup in the pitch by Bertaina. And Pepitone will go hit one deep and gone. So just like that, the Yankees tie it up on a solo home run to begin the second by Joe Pepitone. So 1-1 now. Steve Whitaker getting a start today up now. Whitaker hitting just .213 with a homer and 8 runs batted in. Playing for the injured Bill Robinson. And he does not get hit by the pitch. Grounds one weakly to Powell. Will take it to the bag himself for out number 1. So Ruben Amaro up now. Amaro 143 on the season with a homer and 2 runs batted in. And that's a range play. And it's going to be a range play by Aparicio. He'll make the play over to first. We're out number 2. Stottlemyre up now. Pitcher, just an .098 hitter for this actual season with 5 runs batted in. Hitless in 17 at bats so far this year. So step in against Bertaina. And he'll ground this one to third. Robinson up with it over to first. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the second. But they do get a run on the solo homer by Joe Pepitone to lead off the inning. And it's 1-1 after 1.5. So to bring up Boo Powell. Powell struggling on the season, hitting just .179 in the replay with 2 homers, 7 batted in. Here's the windup in the pitch by Stottlemyre. And he fights one off for a base hit past Mantle. So on to lead off the Orioles second. Brings up Clark Blefary. Left fielder hitting just .181 in the replay with a homer and 13 runs batted in. Hit 22 home runs during the actual season. Holding Powell on. Well, not a threat to steal. And no, Stottlemyre very stingy to left-handed batters and righties, but lefties especially. So it will not be a home run, but it will be a base hit. And Powell will stop at second, station to station. So runners on first and second with nobody out. So the Orioles have someone here for Davy Johnson. Davy Johnson hitting .287 on the season with 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. See if he can get the Orioles back the lead. Powell looks in for the sign. Looks at the runners, kicks and delivers. And no, he takes ball 3. Stottlemyre thought he had him there. 4-4. And that will be a fly out to Tresh in left. And the runners will hold. So 1 now for Echebarren. Echebarren hitting just .177 on the season. Homer and 7 runs batted in. Just a .215 hitter on the actual season. But he will draw the walk time that will load the bases. So Bertaina with a chance to put the Orioles on top. Help his own cause here. And it's going to be a pickoff throw. And Powell is back safely. So Bertaina back in the box. Bertaina not a very good bunter. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Can they turn 2? They're going to try for the double play. And Powell will come in to score as they're only able to get Echeverria at second as Bertaina beats it out. So Bertaina with an RBI ground out puts the Orioles on top 3-2 as Powell comes in to score. So Aparicio up now. The runners at the corners and 2 down. Aparicio 242 as he walked and scored his first time up. Here's the windup and the pitch. And no home run here. And he'll pop up to third baseman Smith, makes the catch and the inning. So after 2 full, the Orioles with a 2-1 lead. It'll be top of the order Clark, Tresh, and Mantle up against Bertaina, now with a run lead. Clark 0 for 1 so far. And this could be, oh no, Clark with no power though. It would have been a home run off Bertaina but Horace Clark with no power, especially from the left-hand side of the plate. Slight power from the right-hand side of the plate. And that wouldn't have been a home run anyway. Instead, it's going to be a ground ball to the human vacuum cleaner. Will make the play over to Powell for number 1. Tresh up now. Tresh 0 for 1 so far today. And that will be a strikeout. First K by Bertaina. So that'll bring up the Mick. Mick tie it with the 1 swing of the bat. And that's a foul ball. Mantle back in the... And another foul ball. Mantle holding tough. Possible error on a throw. And no, that's going to be a pop-up to third. Brooks will make the catch to end the inning. So the Yankees go in order in the top of the third. So we'll head to the home half of the third with the Orioles with a 2-1 lead. Schneider will lead it off. Schneider, I believe, walked in his first at-bat. And this time will strike out for out number 1. Brooks Robinson up now. Had an RBI double to put the Orioles on the board. Back in the first. And he'll get his second hit of the day. 1-out single. So that'll bring up Frank Robinson. As Brooks not a threat to steal, but Mantle will hold him on. Frank Robinson 0 for 1. And that's going to be a base hit. Oh, and an error by the third baseman Smith. So that'll move the runners up to second and third. So both Robinsons on second and third with 1 down. For Powell, a chance to increase the lead here. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored. As Howard goes out the top to Stottlemyre, goes back behind the plate. And takes ball 3, so full count on Powell. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Smith handles it this time, as Brooks Robinson was off on contact. Yes. So Brooks Robinson will come in to score. Frank Robinson holds at second, and Powell has himself an RBI ground out. So 3-1 now, Orioles. 2 down now with a runner in scoring position. Well, Bleffery, who's singled his first at bat. And that will be a liner to first. Mantle makes a stab to end the inning. But the Orioles tack on a run, and that is going to be an unearned run, I believe. So Brooks Robinson comes in to score. No, actually, Brooks Robinson did reach on a single. Blah, 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 the third, blah, 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 blah. So I think that one is earned. So there's just the one error there, I think. Infield single to third. Error by Turkada. So he did reach anyway, so I think that's going to be an earned run there. Alright. So 3-1 as we go to the top of the fourth. Ralston Howard 0 for 1 will go up against Bertaina. It'll be Howard, Smith, and Pepitone, who 6-1, and that will be a strikeout. Ralston Howard. So with his second K of the day. Bring up Charlie Smith trying to atone his error. Smith 0 for 1. And he's unable to do so as he strikes out. So back-to-back Ks to the top of the fourth. They bring up Pepitone, who is responsible for the only Yankee run with a solo homer. And no, Bertaina thought he had struck out the side, but they're going to call it ball 3, so full count on Pepitone. That will be a fly out, though, to Snyder to end the inning. So we go head to the bottom of the fourth. Orioles up by 2. Bottom third of the order, Johnson, Echeverria, and Bertaina up against Stottlemyre. Johnson 0 for 1 so far. And that will be a range check on Amaro. And he will not get to it. Very tough play there. So that's going to be a base hit for Davy Johnson. His first hit of the day. And Orioles are going to go hit and run with Echeverria. Possible error on the ground. And that will not be, as it's a fly out to right. Johnson has to scurry back to first. So Bertaina, let's see what kind of hitter he is. Not very good, so either, but we're going to give him a chance to Johnson a chance to steal here, and he will make it. So stolen base by Davy Johnson. So to bring up Bertaina. Oh boy, not a very good bunter, but we're gonna have him we'll try to lay one down here. And he would. No, he does not draw the walk. And it's a successful sacrifice bunt, which will get the runner over. So 2 down now, the runner in third. For Aparicio, who's 0 for 1 with a run scored and a walk. And he holds up for ball 3. And that is going to be a ground ball to second to end the inning. So we'll head to the top of the 5th with the Orioles with a 3-1 lead, 3-1 lead. So bottom third of the Yankee order, Whitaker, Amaro, and Stottlemyre up against Whitaker 0 for 1. And this will be a range play at Memorial Stadium. And that will be a successful catch by Snyder as he makes a nice running catch for out number 1. So Amaro 0 for 1 up now. And an error check, possibly. And that's a fly ball, so that will not be an error. Mr. Brody seems to have disappeared here. Hold on. Here we go. Not yet. Children's Ministry starts next week, so we do not have it this week. Start off the new season at High Ground Ministries. Anyway, Mr. Brody snoozing up in this hot Memorial Day. So 2 outs and the base is empty for Stottlemyre. Stottlemyre 0 for 1. And no, that will not be a home run. 3-6. And that will be a fly out to center to end the inning. So the Yankees go 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. So halfway through, it's 3-1 Baltimore. Stottlemyre back on the hill. Still plenty of gas left. It's going to be Snyder, Robinson, and Robinson up against Stottlemyre here in the bottom of the 5th. Snyder's 0 for 1. Struck out in his first at bat. And he'll strike out again. Stottlemyre struck out Snyder twice. 2 Ks on the day. Brooks Robinson 2 for 2 with a double and an RBI. And takes ball 3. And then flies out to Tresh and left for out number 2. So Frank Robinson 1 for 2. Go around possible. Let's see. No, that's going to be a base hit. So Frank Robinson with a base hit to center. 2 out single. Brings up Boog Powell. 1 for 2 with an RBI. And he'll get his second hit of the day as Robinson motors to third. He was off with the pitch with 2 down. So going to put runners out the corner. So those with a 2-out rally here. There's action in the Yankee bullpen as Dooley Woolmark starts to loosen up. Howard goes out top to Stottlemyre to try to buy some time. Referee 1 for 2. Up to the plate now. Error check. And there's going to be a liner to first. And Mantle will make the catch to end the inning. So after 5 full, it's the Orioles 3 and the Yankees 1. Horace Clarke will lead it off, top of the order. To be Clarke, Tresh, and Mantle up against Bertaina. Was allowed to one farther home run to Pepitone. But he will allow his first walk here to Clarke to lead it off here in the top of the 6th. That'll bring the tying run up. Tom Tresh. Easy. Clarke being held on by Powell at first. And that's a ground ball to first. And range check, and Powell will not be able to get to it. And that's going to go into the corner. They're going to hold Clarke at third with nobody else. So tying runs aboard on the double by Tresh. So second and third with nobody out. It'll bring up the dangerous Mickey Mantle. And we are not going to have... Looks like Tresh is going to try to steal home, but I don't think he's going to try to steal home with Mantle at the plate. So we are not going to go with that. With their speed, maybe with runners on first and second, I might try it, but not with runners at second and third and nobody out. So Mantle will bat right against Bertaina. And it's an unintentional, intentional walk. We'll load the bases. For not such a bad idea with the struggling Elston Howard coming up now. And I think we're going to play the infield end. Try to cut off the run at the plate there. So Howard up to the plate now. Howard 0 for 2. Oh, an error check here. And it's a ground ball to third. Robinson very short-handed. Will make the play. I'm going to go for the first double play. Yes. And Robinson goes to Etchebarren for 1. Back to Powell. And they turn the 5-2-3 double play to get out of the inning. Oh, actually, they don't get out of the inning. I'm sorry. That's just 2 down now. As there were nobody out. So now runners on second and third. So with down now. So Bertaina 1 out away from getting out of the bases loaded, nobody out situation. And preserving the 2-run lead. So that'll bring up Charlie Smith. Charlie Smith's still trying to atone for his error. 0 for 2 on the day. Oh, and Charlie Smith will do so in a big way, as he is going to go deep, deep, deep and gone to deep center field. A 3-run shot, and the Yankees are back on top 4-3. So Charlie Smith definitely atones for that error there in a big way, and it's now a Yankee lead 4-3. Ouch. So Bertaina holds his head down. He knew it from the second that he let that pitch go, that he had hung one there. So Charlie Smith hits his third home run of the season. And the Yankees have a 4-3 lead now. And with that, that will be it for Bertaina. As Eddie Watt, so he cannot make it through the 6th inning. So he cannot win it now. He can lose it. And it looks like the Orioles are going to bring in Eddie Watt. So Eddie Watt comes in for the Orioles. That quieted the crowd here. So Watt with 4 saves on the season, 1.42 earned run average, 12 2/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts and 4 walks. 3-5 with 8 saves with a 2.26 earned run average on the actual season. So Joe Pepitone is already homered today up against Watt now. And it's going to be a range play. And that's going to be a base hit. Oh, actually, no, it's not, as Robinson makes a nice running catch. So that'll do it. So with the Yankee damage done, as the third baseman Charlie Smith atones for his error in a huge way with his 3rd home run of the season. It's now a 4-3 Yankee lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th. So bottom third of the order, Johnson, Etchebarren, and Watt will face Stottlemyre now with a 1-run lead. There is action in the Yankee bullpen as Womack is back up warming up. And he flies up fresh for out number 1. So Etchebarren up now, 0 for 1 with a walk. And he fights off an inside pitch. Gets a little nubber the third. Smith up with it over to first for out number 2. So they're going to let Wyatt hit. He's been up once and does have a base hit. Not a bad hitting pitcher, 182 with a homer and 2 runs batted in. And it's going to be a range play at Memorial Stadium. And that will be a ground ball in front of the plate. Little dribbler, Howard with it over to first. And the Orioles go into order in the bottom of the 6th. So we head to the 7th with the Yankees score. The Yankees 4, the Orioles 3. Wyatt back out on the hill for the Orioles. Bottom third of the order, Whitaker, Amaro, and Stottlemyre. And Stottlemyre will most likely be pinch hit for. And Whitaker, who is 0 for 2 on the day, strikes out. Amaro up now, 0 for 2 also. He'll strike out, so back-to-back Ks for Wyatt. Again, the 7th. And Stottlemyre will be lifted for a pinch hitter. So his day is done. And let's check and see. I think we're going to bring in Jack Gibbs, who's pinch hit in the actual game. If I can get the cursor back. Alright, so Jack Gibbs. The backup comes in the pinch hit to Stottlemyre. His day is done. Gibbs hitting .250 on the season and with 4 runs batted in, 56 at-bats. Here's the windup in the pitch by Wyatt. And just take strike 2, full count now. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Johnson up with over to Powell. And that will do it for the Yankees in the... I don't remember what inning that was. 8th, is it? No, 7th, I think. No, 6th. I know, we'll find out in a second. So we're going to bring in Dooley Walk, who has been warming up. Maybe a little early for him. Why don't we bring in Tillotson. So Thad Tillotson will come in. 1-3 on the season, 3.50 earned run average, 18 innings pitched, 23 hits allowed, 8 walks, 15 strikeouts. So Tillotson will face top of the order, Aparicio, Schneider, and Robinson with the Orioles 7th after the 7th inning stretch. And no, it takes strike 2 and then flies out to Tresh and left for out number 1. So Schneider up now. He's glad to see Stottlemyre that he struck out twice against him. However, doesn't matter who's in there, he strikes out. So he strikes out for the 3rd time against Yankee pitching. So Brooks Robinson 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI up now. He takes ball 3 and gets a base hit past the dive of Amaro. So 2-out single for Brooks Robinson brings up Frank Robinson. Tying run on board now. Frank Robinson for 3. And that will be a ground ball to short. Amaro up with it over. And that'll do it for the Orioles in the 7th. So we'll head to the 8th with the Yankees with a 1-run lead, 4-3. Wyatt back out there again. He'll face top of the order Clark, Tresh, and Mantle. Clark 0 for 2 with a walk. Takes ball 3. And fights the next one off for a single. So Clark on with a leadoff single to start the 8th for the Yankees. Tresh up now, 1 for 3 with a double. Powell holding on Clark. And he strikes out. So Wyatt now with his 3 strikeouts on the day. So Mantle up now. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And Mantle strikes out. So back-to-back Ks. So 2 down now with Clark still at first. For Elston Howard, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Range play. And it's going to be a range play. Oh, and it's going to be past Powell. And Clark will try to come around to score. And he will be gunned down by Robinson. And that will do it. That will end the inning. So big play there by Robinson after the single. And it remains a one-run game as we head to the bottom of the 8th. And Powell will lead it off. Powell 2 for 3 with an RBI. Tillotson back out there again. And that's going to be a base hit. So leadoff single for Powell. Being held on by Mantle. Bleffery up now, 1 for 3. And that is going to be it for Tillotson. Looks like they're going to bring in Steve Hamilton to go lefty on lefty against Bleffery. Nickel holding him on with nobody out. Oh, hold on there. I guess we'll hit away. 2-1. And that is going to be a successful catch by Tresh as Powell heads back to first. Davey Johnson 1 for 3 up now. And that's going to be a base hit. Powell will hold that second, so it'll put runner second. For Etchebarren, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. And no base hit. That was close to 2-3. And this could be extra bases here. And that's going to be a base hit for Etchebarren. And Powell will be held at third. So that's going to load the bases with 1 down. And we're going to bring on a pinch hitter for Wyatt. And the Orioles did not use a pinch hitter in the game. So we're going to figure this out ourselves here. Mickey McGuire. Actually, I'm going to pull that one back. Paul Blair is going to be our pinch hitter of choice here. And they're going to get rid of Hamilton here. And they're going to bring in their closer, Dooley Womack. The game on the line here, 4-3, bottom of the 8th. Only 1 down. Orioles have the bases loaded. Powell at third, Johnson at second, and Etchebarren at first. Paul Blair hitting .260 on the season with 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. So Womack looks in for the sign from Howard. The closer looks at the runners, kicks and delivers. And he takes ball 3. Full count now. And that is going to be a fly ball to left. Tresh with an average arm. And let's see what we got here. Hold on. And nope, that is not going to be... Ooh. Make me wonder if probably should have pinch run for Powell at first, but we did not. Let's see what happens here. Lead runner advances, though. Roll of 1 on throw chart, so Powell is able to tag and come home. So it is deep enough. Powell is just able to beat the relay home. And that is a 2 here, too, so Davey Johnson will tag in advance. It said trailing runners advance on the throw, so the throw goes home and both runners will advance. So score tied at 4 now, as Paul Blair is able to get the sacrifice fly. So Aparicio up now. Aparicio 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. So a chance for the Orioles to go on top here. Howard goes up the top to Womack, goes back behind the plate. Womack looks in for the sign, kicks and delivers. Oh, I almost thought. And this is going to be a ballpark check at Memorial Stadium. 3-6, and that will be a fly out though to Whitaker at right to end the inning. But the Orioles are able to tie it up on the sac fly by pinch hitter Paul Blair. The Orioles, yeah, they're going to bring in Stu Miller. They're not going to bring in their closer yet. So Stu Miller. So there is no save situation now. So Stu Miller in for the Orioles now. Having a fine season, .76 earned run average. 1 and 2 with 2 saves. 23 and 2/3 innings pitched. 8 hits allowed. 16 strikeouts and 5 walks. So he'll face Smith, Pepitone, and Whitaker. Smith with a big 3-run homer to put the Yankees ahead at the time, 4-3. And that's a big strikeout. Smith goes down swinging for out number 1. Pepitone up now. He's homered also today too, 1 for 3. And that is going to be another home run by Joe Pepitone. Going, and gone. So Stu Miller surrenders the second home run of the day by Joe Pepitone. And the Yankees reclaim the lead 5-4. That will quiet the crowd. So Steve Whitaker up now, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Well, takes ball 3 and grounds out to Johnson. So 2 gone now. Ruben Amaro up now, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And takes ball 3. And will ground back to Miller. Flips over to first to end the inning. But damage is done as Joe Pepitone once again homers. Second time today. And Yankees now with a 5-4 lead. So Womack now with a chance for the win. Rush Schneider. It'll be Schneider, Brooks Robinson, and Frank Robinson. But he gets on Powell. So Schneider up now. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He is going to be pinch hit for. And let's see who they pick here. Sam Bowens. Yeah, he's just a 183 hitter, so we don't want him. Who else we have here? Vic Rosnovsky. He's not good either. Oh boy, let's see here. We're just going to pick one ourselves. Not much available here, but we're going to go with Larry Haney, the backup catcher. I remember him with the Milwaukee Brewers later on. I always thought he looked like Thurman Munson in his later days. I mean, not Thurman Munson. Thurman Munster in his picture with the Orioles. I mean, with the Brewers from, I think, 78, 77, 78. Looked a lot like Herman Munster. So anyway, Larry Haney up now. Haney hitting .212 in the replay with 3 runs batted in, .268 hitter on the actual season, 3 homers, 20 runs batted in. So Womack looks in for the sign, kicks and delivers. And no, they said he held up. He check swing, so ball 3. And this is going to be a Memorial Stadium check, and that will be a base hit. So Haney is able to get the single, and he will be lifted for a pinch hitter as his base there, but very low base running. So we're gonna, let's see here. Dave May is gonna come on. Do we want Dave May? No, Sam Bowens. Yeah, Sam Bowens is going to be called upon to pinch run for Haney. So Haney does his job, gets on base. Okay. So Brooks Robinson up now. Do we want Brooks Robinson? Is actually a pretty good bunter. Man, but he's hitting .339 on the season. Oh my goodness. .269 hitter. Oh boy. Well, he's a team player though, so he is going to bunt here with nobody out. Very unselfish here, and he will get the sacrifice bunt down. So that will put Bowens in scoring position with one down for Frank Robinson, who's 2 for 4 on the day. Womack looks in for the sign. It kicks and delivers, and he will strike out Frank Robinson. So a big strikeout. So it's up to Boog Powell, who's 3 for 4 on the day with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Chance here to keep this game going. So Womack looks in for the sign from Howard, looks back at the runner, kicks and delivers. Orioles down their last out here. And he will draw the walk, so Powell draws the walk, keeping the inning going. Clark Blefary, oh boy. Just a 183 hitter, 242. Yeah, not much on the bench there. Yeah, Jabowski, the pitcher, is 350, but we can't bring him in. That's not right. All right, so we're gonna go back to the game. We're gonna let I guess we're gonna let him hit for himself here. 42. He does have 22 home runs though, so on the actual season. So, oh, that's gonna be it. Ooh. No, we're gonna leave him in because he's the closer. Even though he's tired, we're gonna leave because that's what you gotta trust in your closer, and he gets Blefary to end the game. So Blefary leaves the tying and winning runs on base. And the Baltimore Orioles will fall to the New York Yankees by a score of 5-4. Very exciting game here. Lots of lead changes. But in the end, the Yankees are able to win it on the home run number 2 by Joe Pepitone in the top of the 9th. As we have our Impossible Dream picture in the background with Yastrzemski with, I want to say Bobby Kennedy there. And I'm not sure who the other guys are. Sure, those of you who know will make a comment in the comment section there, to the left and to the right of Yastrzemski. And the guy in the back, I don't know who that is either. So anyway, let's check this out here. It's an exciting game there. The Yankees prevail 5-4. Not quite the pitching duel that it was made up to be. Take a look at the box score. Let's see here. Let's move Mr. Barodio box score over. All right, so let's see here. So Mel Stottlemyre pitches 6 innings, allowing 8 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks. Thad Tillotson pitches a scoreless inning, allowing 2 hits, striking out a batter. Steve Hamilton pitches a third of an inning, allowing 2 hits and 1 run. A tying run at the time. And then Dooley Womack gets the win, gets the final out of the 8th and pitches, final 2 outs of the 8th and pitches the 9th. 1 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So he's 1-0 now in the season. Frank Bertaina, 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and surrendered 2 home runs, 1 to Pepitone, and the big blast to Charlie Smith, 3-run homer. Eddie Wyatt, 2 1/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, striking out 4. He pitched very well in relief. And the Orioles a chance. Stu Miller coughs up the home run to Pepitone in the 9th and takes the loss, 1-3. An inning 1 hit, one it was earned, 1 strikeout, of course, the home run. Still having a very fine season with ERA of just 1.09. So a rare bad performance by Miller, or semi-bad performance. Just 1 bad pitch, actually. So for the Yankees, Horace Clarke 1 for 3 with a walk. Tom Tresh is 1 for 4 with a run scored and a double. Mickey Mantle 0 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. Elston Howard 1 for 4 with a double. Charlie Smith with the big blow, 4 with 3-run homer. And I believe when he played named Pepitone, who had 2 solo home runs, 2 for 4, including the game winner. Steve Whitaker 0 for 4, as was Ruben Amaro. Mel Stottlemyre 0 for 2. Jake Gibbs pinch hitter 0 for 1, and Tillotson, Hamilton, and Womack did not get at bats. For the Orioles, Luis Aparicio was 0 for 4 with a run scored and a walk. Russ Schneider 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Did have a sacrifice bunt. Larry Haney had a pinch hit single. Brooks Robinson had a good day, 3 for 4 with a home run, solo home run. Was that a solo home run? No, it wasn't a home run. A double, actually. And a run scored and an RBI. Frank Robinson 2 for 5. Boog Powell 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Also walked. Blefary was 1 for 5. Davey Johnson 2 for 4 with a stolen base. Andy Etchebarren 1 for 3 with a walk. Bertaina was 0 for 1 with an RBI. Sacrifice. Also, Eddie Wyatt 0 for 1. Paul Blair with a pinch hit sacrifice fly, tying the game to time 4-4. Stu Miller and Sam Bowens did not get at bat. Sam Bowens a pinch runner. So again, player of the game is going to be Joe Pepitone with 2 solo home runs. 1 to start the Yankees scoring and 1 to give the Yankees the go-ahead run of the 9th. So thank you for joining me. Another game from the 1967 Impossible Dream season from May 23rd. We'll play a game from May 24th from 1967. So Mr. Brody signing in Purple Monkey, and it looks like Blue Penguin on the ground there, and Blue Duck signing off along with the Miss Mags. So take care and God bless, and we will see you in the next Impossible Dream 51st now anniversary celebration series. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.